Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. Better battery bolt. You're nuts not to try these bolts. Soul Fast e-bikes. Roll with soul. And by Budbusters, extreme fender flares for UTVs and side-by-sides.
You know, Joe, the automobile was invented at the turn of the last century, and over the course of over 100 years, rust is still the enemy. Nobody's really figured out how to address it until now. What are you guys at NHOU doing to combat rust?
In my life, it certainly has been, which was the catalyst for me getting into this business. And rust has been dubbed the longest war. It's really difficult to beat Mother Nature, but what we do is slow her down. And what we do is mainly use an oil-based rust proofing. So if you have a brand new vehicle, we have two options, but for now we'll discuss the oil. The oil is something that would go on brand new or use pre-existing rust. It does not encapsulate the rust. That only allows it to grow beneath the surface. It looks pretty, eventually it comes through. This will actually go down to the good metal, displace moisture, remove oxygen. As long as you have product on your vehicle, you stop oxidation.
Now, if I bring my automobile to you or to an authorized dealer, what happens to the car?
You should clean it before you come in. We would bring it in, we would blow it off. It would take about an hour. We'd apply oil to everything that's exposed in the undercarriage, all your body cavities, you're in and out, come back in a year.
Is it safe for my car? Is it safe for the environment?
Our oil is non-conductive. It is environmentally friendly, no solvents, no detergents.
What's the biggest battle you're fighting here? Obviously, we know about rust, but as far as educating the customer.
Cultural. Yeah. It's people thinking this through, like, proactively, like changing the oil on your vehicle. People don't think about corrosion until it's, you know, it's a failed inspection or they have a structural failure.
Well, you're starting your education here, and if you want to further it, you can check them out at the website, Joe.
NHOIlundercoating.com.
Tribotex is a great product that works. If you just inject it into the engine, you don't have to go through anything extra. But Pasha, if you want to take it to the next level and make Tribotex work at its best, there are a few best practices. Now, number one, you guys have told me, clean the engine. Make sure it's a clean surface to begin with. How does that work?
Yes, you want to make sure that these surfaces are clean. You can use engine flush before oil change, or you can use our new superior artisan bio-based cleaner called PR1.
And PR1 is great because it's environmentally friendly.
It is environmentally friendly, it is non-toxic, and third, it is a super concentrate, so a small amount goes really long way.
And the second thing, no other additives. You don't want to put other stuff in your engine while you're using Tribotex.
Yes, all additive companies, we all fight against common enemy, friction and status quo of large oil companies that produce mediocre product. But it is very difficult to know how different additives will interact. So we recommend you to stay within same technology.
Another one your lead engineer Brian told me about is actually mix Tribotex with the oil before you put the oil into the vehicle, right?
Depends on the application. You can inject it where it's easy to inject, or you can mix it with the oil and pour the oil through the regular route.
You won't notice immediate results necessarily with Tribotex. Sometimes it takes a little while, so you need some patience.
You're right, patience is the virtue in this case, because we are not immediate solid lubricant. We are film former. We build the film over time. It takes about 10 motor hours to build the film that gives you dramatically low friction and all the benefits that goes together with using the product. So when you wait a little, it pays off royally.
But in today's society, I want immediate results. So if I don't see it working immediately, I'm just going to add more and more and more. But that's a big no-no. You don't want to overdo it when it comes to Tribotex.
You will hear difference in noise in the very first 15 minutes when the valve train starts to quiet down. But the biggest difference is from the coating piston cylinder group. The very slow splash lubrication and rings remove most of the lubricant. That's where the most difference for the long-term effect and the fuel consumption happens, and the power. That's what you want to wait for.
You don't want to overdo it with Tribotex.
Yes. Lower amount over longer time works better than more at once.
You can learn all about the tips and tricks on how to make your car perform better and how to protect it in the long run on Tribotex.com. Well, we've got to say goodbye, but it's not for long. We'll be back next week, and we hope you join us here on Motorhead Garage. In the meantime, if you have anything you want to see on the show, email Jeff at masterstv.com. We'll see you next week on Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings.